media ministry. And I was all excited last night when I was going over the message and the text, the intro, and the text of the wrong chapter. So we already read chapter 4. Amen. But we're going to study chapter 3. Amen. Beginning with verse number 12. The letter to the Philippians church, chapter 12. I want you to do me a favor as you're turning. I want to make a few announcements as you're turning. I want to let the ushers go ahead and take a seat. Thank you, Sister Parks. Beautiful. Hey, can we give our ushers some praise? Give God praise. Please get on the phone and call members who ain't coming to church. Amen. And you know, amen. I only got one amen on that one. Amen. Got 3 amens that time. Amen. Call your neighbor. Say, we're going to call somebody. Amen. 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 I want to make another announcement while you're turning. Every year, the Southern California region at the King program, how what is known as Unsung Heroes. This year the program is on January the 19th at 4 o'clock. I told you. Amen. We got to raise some house. Amen. If you don't say amen, God will raise up a Syrian. Amen. Amen. God will raise up a Syrian in the house. Don't turn her off, because I got to get every witness I can get. Amen. And January the 19th, I told Sister McCurry just a couple weeks ago, we were talking, I said, I know they don't, I had already decided who, the Lord spoke to me, but I knew they were just as coming down, they would be requesting it, so I got ahead of the schedule, and instead of waiting on them to tell us to look for somebody, I started praying a month ago that God revealed to me who I select this year. And I'm going to tell you, all of y'all are heroes. Amen? Amen. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, you're a hero. Amen. The Lord spoke to me, the Lord said to me, God, I want you to think about somebody that works behind the scenes that nobody ever sees doing anything. And the Lord spoke to me and it came clear. Now, all y'all, I could choose all y'all, but I can only pick one person. And this year, the Lord spoke to me clearly, clearly and distinctly, to pick for this year's Unsung Hero, Sister Regina Shelby. She's probably working right now. We don't even see her. Just waiting. Amen. She works and don't want credit, don't want people to give her any attention. But the Lord spoke to me and said, that's who I want you to pick this year. Amen. So we thank you, Sister Shelby, for being our hero. I see it back there. Amen. We thank you and we praise God for your stewardship to the church and to the people. There was a word, my brothers and my sisters, that I found in Philippians chapter 3. I want you to remember that I'm still trying to, my goal over the next several weeks is to, several weeks and Sundays, is to preach words of encouragement. You remember I told you that I'm talking about the vision, the mission is Operation Refresh. I want to bring about a revival, but the Lord spoke to me and says that the first thing we need to have is well-being in Christ, is that people need to experience personal well-being. That one of the reasons why I believe believers and saints sometimes are not always as loving and as caring, is that sometimes they're going through struggles and they're allowing the struggle to take over, where they can't give out love because they're having to deal with personal, internal problems with love. Amen. And so we want to encourage it. I want to encourage it in this season. I want to encourage myself in this season. So I want to talk about personal well-being, and over the last couple of weeks I want to just give words of encouragement. God wants me to speak words of encouragement to you. I'm going to read chapter 3, verses 12 through 14. I'm going to read it first from the King James Version. Many of you probably have the King James Version. And then I'm going to read it again from the Contemporary English Version of the Bible. Here it is from the King James Version. Verse number 12 says, not as though I had already attained. Is that in your Bible?
Yes, sir.
Either were already perfect, but I follow after that I might apprehend for that which also I am apprehended of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. Amen. Reading from the Contemporary English Translation, Regional English Version says, I have not reached my goal, and I am not perfect. Christ has taken hold of me. So I keep on running and struggling to take hold of this prize. My friends, I don't feel I have already arrived, but I forget what is behind, and I struggle for what is ahead. I run towards the goal so I can win the prize of being called to heaven. Amen to the reading of God's word. Do me a favor real quick, if y'all don't mind getting a little interactive with me this morning. I'm not going to be long. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't forget to log off. I'm going to talk to you on the sermon title, Don't Forget to Log Off. Somebody shout, don't forget to log off. Don't forget to log off. A couple of months ago, I decided to use the computer at Kinko's. Honestly, I don't remember much about that day. I don't recall a particular reason for using Kinko's on that day. But there were a few things I do recall. First, I recall the instructions of setting up an account and then using a credit card to get started. Second thing I remember is that I recall that once the account was established, the system would then charge me by the minute. And then third, I remember the Kinko's employee emphasizing and re-emphasizing, Mr. Wesley, remember that when you are finished with the computer, that you remember to log off. Do I have any witnesses in this house this morning? He says, if you fail to log off, then the computer will continue to charge you. So I have to admonish you, Mr. Wesley, don't forget to log off. My sisters and my brothers, our brains are like computers. They're constantly receiving input from the many images and experiences that force themselves in their way into our consciousness. All of us, my sisters and brothers, have logged on and into life with all of its upheavals, its headaches and hurts and horrors. Maybe you have been betrayed by some spouse. Maybe friends who you have thought had your best intentions in mind turned their backs on you. Maybe some relative has betrayed you and hurt you. Perhaps you're sitting here under the sound of my voice and you realize that your dreams and high hopes for life have done nothing more than turn into your worst nightmare. Maybe you are logged on and the only thing you can see is the screen of life, its misfortunes. Maybe all you can see, my sisters and brothers, is maladjustment. Maybe all you can see is mistreatment and misery. But God has sent me here on this second Sunday of the month of January to tell you that you don't have to stay logged on to misfortune. Listen up in the church this morning. That you don't have to stay logged on to maladjustment. You don't have to stay logged on to mistreatment and misery. God has sent me here to tell you that you don't have to stay logged on to a life that does not bring out the best in you. Because there are people that want you to stay logged on. I wish I had a helping some help in here. There's some folk that want you to stay logged on to your misfortune. There are friends and people that you thought were close to you who want you to stay logged on, wallowing in misery and misfortune. There are people that want you to stay logged on to your depression and your despair. There are people that want you to stay logged on and don't want to see you become the head instead of being the tail. There are people who don't want to see you be the leader. They want to see you be the follower. But I come by to tell you that no matter what life has brought your way, whatever screen you're looking at, God has sent me to tell you that it's time for you to log off. Help me this morning. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, log off. You better log off. You better log off. Because there are some folks that ain't happy, don't want you to see you get the where God wants you to be. But I come by to tell you that greater is He that is in you. I need some help in this Methodist church. Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. God sent me to tell you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And that everything about you says favor. Everything about you says fortune. Everything about you says God's goodness, because God made you and created you. And as my grandmama used to say, God don't make no junk. And y'all gonna help me out this morning. So here it is. Paul is writing to this church at Philippi. It is a church that has understood Paul's pain and misery. We learn about this little church and its establishment in Acts chapter 16, verses 16 through 18, where Luke writes, we set sail for Troas and took a straight course to Samothrace, this following day to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is a leading city in the district of Macedonia and a Roman colony. Watch this. It is a small city. It is a small city. Philippi is, but it has great influence. But more than that, you have to understand is that it is a city where Paul is a church that Paul has established and that Paul is relying on for encouragement. Because why? Because Paul is in prison in Rome. He's in prison in Rome. He's writing to this church, and he's encouraging them while he encourages himself. Hold up. Sometimes, my sisters and my brothers, when you learn to log off, and you learn to not let your enemies get you down, and you learn not to let your misfortune take control, even when you're going through, you can still have the wherewithal to still encourage somebody else. You ought to be able to encourage people even when you don't feel encouraged. Can I just tell y'all, Lord just gave me this. Sometimes you ought to encourage folks even when you don't feel encouraged, because sometimes the way you get encouraged is by encouraging somebody else. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, encourage. Y'all need to help me out this morning. Here it is. And that Paul says, he says, look at the text. I want you to look at it from whatever version, but he says, not as though I've already attained, either we're already perfect, but I follow after that I may apprehend for what is also apprehended by Christ. Look at what he says. He's implying that every now and then this life that he lives is a life that is comprised of misfortune and failure. So here is my first point, is that when you log off, you will appreciate your failure so you can apprehend your future. I wish I had a witness in this house this morning. That every now and then you're going to experience some failure in your life. Listen to him again. He says, I have not yet reached my goal, and I'm not yet perfect. But I want to let you know that sometimes, every now and then, you ought to give some appreciation for your failure. Y'all ain't praying with me. Why? Because your failure helps you to appreciate, and it helps you to grow and mature in Christ. If you never had any failure, how can you grow? Come here, James. James chapter 1, verse 1 says, count it all joy when you fall into divers and troubles of many times, knowing that the trying of your faith, watch this, produces patience. Every now and then you got to experience some failure. The great playwright Antoine Chekhov says, fail once, yes. Fail again, fail better. That's the word. You can appreciate your failure. Let me call it. There are many folk in history that have experienced failure, and because of their failure, they experienced greatness. Thomas Edison was told by his teacher that he was too stupid to learn anything, but he went on to hold more than 1,000 patents. Albert Einstein, as a child, couldn't even start speaking until he was 4 years old. And now look at what he's done today, and then how much he's impacted the science industry. He even won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Colonel Harlan Sanders was the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, but before that, he was a failure until he reached the age of 65. I'm telling you, every now and then you need some failure. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most successful individuals, but she was born to a single mother, living on welfare.
testimony. I ain't gonna go too far into it, but I remember how many times teachers had to tell me. Teachers told me, you don't have what it takes to go to graduate school. You don't have what it takes to get a degree in college. Maybe you should think about doing a trade. Maybe you want to think about doing something else other than college. But I'll come by to tell you that the devil is a liar. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, no matter what your enemy says, God has great things in store for you. Okay, hold on. Look at your other neighbor. Say, other neighbor. Thank God for your failures. Because it's through your failures, God's going to realize your greatness. I need some help in this church this morning. Let me just pause for a second. Is there anybody other than me that has experienced some failures in your life? Can we just take out a few moments to praise God for our failures? Give me your failure and say, thank you for every failure that I've had. Thank you for every disappointment I've had. Thank you for every disappointment that I've had. Because if I never had it power, I wouldn't have known that God was found. Hey! And I wouldn't have known what faith and prayer can do. Thank God for your failure. Oh yeah. You may be down right now. You may be down. But Paul sent me to tell you, don't worry about it. Even though I'm not where I ought to be, I'm still not where I used to be. Hey! I'm almost done. But he says, look, if you got failures in your life, appreciate your failures so that you can apprehend your future.
Yes, sir.
You don't even know what God is about to do through you.
That's right.
Y'all help me out this morning. Look, God is about to do something through you, my sister. God is about to do something through you, my brother. Your eyes have not seen, and ears have not heard how God is about to make a difference in your life and everybody's life around you. Paul says, not that I have apprehended. But then notice what he says in verse 12. I have not reached my goal. I'm not perfect. But then he goes on to say, he says, look, I press towards the mark. He says, friends, I don't feel like I'm already arrived. But I forget what's behind me. And I struggle for what's ahead of me. Y'all not praying with me. Let me read it to you one more time. Because I need for you to get excited about this word. He says, look, he says, not that I count myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do is I forget those things which are behind me. Somebody shout, forget those things. I forget those things which are behind me. So here it is, that when you log off, when you remember to log off, sometimes God won't log in. Let me say it again. Sometimes God won't log in. Y'all ain't praying. I'm getting ready to get out soon. God won't log in until you log out. This is a good word. Y'all ain't hear me. I ain't more witnesses than one. God won't log in until you log off. And I need you to understand, my sisters and my brothers, that you need to learn how to log off so that God can take full control of what's going on in your life. I was driving the other day, and I had a rental car. And I wanted to connect my phone to the Bluetooth. So I'm driving, trying to connect the Bluetooth to the car. And the lady said to me, vehicle moving, current function unavailable. God sent me to tell you today that you need to stop moving. Be aggressive. Because as long as you're moving, the function is unavailable. Look at somebody and say, stop moving. Let God work in your life. God won't start working until you stop moving. Hey! Think about stuff not going on. You try forget those things which are behind. He was beaten with rods on 3 different occasions. He said, I forget those things which are behind. He was plummeted with stones, but he said, I forget those things which are behind. He was shipwrecked 3 times. And he said, I forget those things which are behind. My sisters and my brothers, I don't care what you've been through. It's time for you to let go and let God. I'm almost done, but somebody shout, let go and let God. I press towards the mark of the high calling, and here it is. My third point is that sometimes you got to log off so God can log on, and here it is. The only way for you to press forward to your goal, you got to see the purpose of God. Paul says, I press towards the mark. He's relying on the imagery of running a race. And he says, he looks at his life as a running a race, and he says, the only way that I can reach God's goal and purpose in my life is that I got to stop looking through the rearview mirror and look at the mirror that's ahead of me. Because the mirror that is ahead of you, when you drive in your car, you notice that your windshield is bigger than your rearview mirror. Y'all, you see y'all praying right now. Listen, I'm coming out to tell you, no matter how bad it is, God sent me to tell you that no matter what's happening in your life, God has a goal and a purpose for you. So you can tell every enemy that you have that no matter what hell I've been through, I'm still standing. Somebody shout, I'm still standing. I'm still standing no matter how bad it is. I'm still standing. No matter how much hell I've been through, I'm still standing. I may have had difficulty and